was fun.
You'll get used to my humor eventually.
Whenever y'all are ready, I'm ready.
What happened? Or name a title.
Yeah, Detective Richard Encinas, Encinas, and I work in the Media Relations Office for the Mesa Police Department. So just giving you an update on what occurred here behind me to my right. This morning at around 9:20 a.m., we received a 911 call. What initially came out as somebody who was threatening to commit suicide. Our caller on the call that called 911 basically said that a family member was acting erratically, was possibly intoxicated, fighting, and then she heard what she thought was a gunshot round go off. She then immediately called 911 and removed herself from the apartment. Officers arrived about 4 minutes later and spoke with her, got an initial story, and her last known location of him was that he was in the bathroom, which led her to think that he had possibly tried to commit suicide. Officers set up on the house, and once they began talking, trying to ascertain if that person was in the bathroom or not there or in the house, we started getting some communication from him inside the house. Lots of yelling, lots of making threats that he was going to harm himself, and things like that. We set up officers all around the perimeter, and got our negotiators out here to begin speaking with the suspect to try to have him come out peacefully. That went on for well over an hour. The suspect would, or the male I should say, he would come out, say something, yell, scream, let us know that he wanted to commit suicide, and then he would go back in the house. That continued for well over an hour. During that time, when he did present himself at the doorway, one of our officers fired a pepper ball gun above the door, so striking above the door, hoping to have the saturation of the pepper spray land on him and hopefully cause him to comply and then to come outside. That did not work. About an hour and a half into this thing, our officers were still communicating with him through the door when they heard what they felt were gunshots coming from the apartment through the window and in their direction. When that occurred, they were approximately 50 or 60 feet away from the front door behind one of our patrol cars. One of the officers then fired focus fire, which is he shot 4 rounds in the down below the door to the right, not where the window is, not in the doorway, anything like that. That focus fire was deployed to allow our officers to pause for a second, reassess the situation, and then get back to a safer location, the ones that were right in front of the apartment. Maybe a minute after that, the male then presented himself at the doorway. Again, he stepped out a little farther this time, and we deployed non-lethal rounds, 40 millimeter rounds at him, which are large rubber balls. We also deployed beanbag at him, and he went down onto the ground in front of the apartment. As that was going on, the Gilbert SWAT team was literally driving up, and they drove up to where he was, gave him some further commands. I believe they might have fired one more 40 millimeter round at him, and then took him into custody. We brought him back, we got him medical attention, and he was not injured, he was unharmed, nothing that required hospitalization, and he has been taken down to our jail where our East Valley CERT investigators will talk to him. Because our officers did fire rounds in a focus fire pattern, this is the East Valley CERT case, so Tempe PD is out here on the scene now, and they will be the investigating agency moving forward.
Nobody hurt.
There's nobody hurt. No officers hurt, and the male was not hurt as well. There was no other people in the apartment. Our reporting party stated when she did come out of the house that she was the only one in the apartment besides him, and there was no other people.
How difficult it is to safely bring a situation like this to a safe conclusion dealing with personal mental issues?
Yeah, I mean, any situation like this is extremely difficult when, we have officers within 50 feet of the door, and they start hearing rounds being fired in their direction, or what they thought was in their direction. And your first response is to make everybody safe. I think we tried to do that. I think they showed great restraint in being able to bring this to a conclusion without somebody getting injured or seriously injured or dead.
You had a negotiator out here that was talking to him through the blowhorn on the car or whatever, trying to get him to come out. That was extensive, wasn't it?
Well over an hour, and he would come out multiple times, and again, just some erratic behavior. We weren't sure what was going on. I was given some information that he came out and he danced around one time and then went back in. So the negotiations were ongoing. It took quite a while. It didn't escalate until the officers felt like they were fired upon. And then again, even after being fired upon, they were able to get to a safe location and then bring this to a safe resolution.
The reporting party or the person inside, was that a child?
It was not a child, it was a family member.
There was some discussion from the negotiator about his child, and if he'd come out, that he would get a chance to see and talk to, maybe talk to his child. Seems like you guys did everything that you could to get this to end peacefully.
That is our hope. I wasn't privy to what the negotiator was talking to him about, but we always want to end any situation like that peacefully. And if it takes an hour, if it takes 5 hours, as long as they're in communication with us, we will continue to do that. And hopefully, like I said, get through to this person, have them come out and just surrender. In this case, it escalated a little bit, but we were still able to bring it to a safe resolution.
Just for the residents in the area, how long do you think the investigation will be?
It's going to be several hours, I'm sure, because like I said, it is an East Valley CERT investigation. Tempe PD is now here on scene. They are doing that investigation as we speak. So we are coordinating with them as well, and we will take out here as long as we need until they get what they feel is sufficient enough, and they're ready to break the scene down.
And that's he had on him. It was a gun that he used, that he fired toward police.
Well, we're not sure yet, because when he did come out of the residence, he was not armed, which is one of the reasons why there was not lethal fire directed in his direction. That is something that we'll find out, though. We have information from the reporting party that he did have a gun. Again, we felt like we were being fired at, but those are things that will happen when we do search warrants, things like that. We did not recover a gun on his person or outside of the house.
You'll email us about anything later.
I sure will, absolutely.
Thank you.
Good?
Sounds like it's good.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.